Hmm. What a plot twist. I mean, uh, I didn't expect this kind of plot twist, you know? I did not expect this at all. This was like the unthinkable. My heart is really heavy. I'm gonna drink this water, even though I'm scared of it. But it doesn't matter. The God in me, and He told me to drink the water. The water that, the water that should never, ever let me be thirsty again. So I drink it, and I'm satisfied for eternity. I drank it, even though I didn't expect this kind of plot twist. Plot twist. እግዚኦ ማረነ ክርስቶስ። ምን አይነት ዓለም ውስጥ ነው ያለ ነው? እግዚኦ ማረነ ክርስቶስ። Come on, God. You promised me. What you promised me for my children was, because you have to keep your word. Like, I'm expecting another plot twist that'll make that prophecy come true. Like, yeah, your prophecy stands, your promise stands. And Jerusalem is yours, not the devil's. She might have been tricked by him, and she might be his daughter, but because I don't have another daughter, so your promise has to be about her. So you said she's gonna conquer Greece. She's going to conquer Greek mythology. I know she's some sort of goddess. She's an evil genius. Okay, so let's get to it. I have a feeling this is going to be one of them long ass lives that I do. Let me see, what time is it? I'm in the dark, you guys. I'm in my room. I have to speak, but I'm scared. I'm overwhelmed and it's hard to speak when you can't believe what you're about to say. And I mean, you know how like something is true, but it's stranger than fiction. And okay, so I'm sorry, guys. I'm hearing noise and I need to check real quick, okay? Actually, I could just do it on the phone. It's just my daughter using the bathroom. Okay, so it wasn't in Ethiopia that I conceived my daughter. Everything became clear. So like, cause I had like this one night stand with this guy, right? And I thought it was that night that I conceived her. Because this guy, I met him in the club, like we had a little, unpleasant words of exchange because I saw him as arrogant and annoying, whatever, to the point where I couldn't keep it to myself. Anyway, that led to like us, yeah, having a little fling because I was in Ethiopia invited to 3 weddings, which I didn't know they were being, they were death rituals on me. I was happy to go and I was like happy to kick it with my cousins and all that stuff. But these people weren't my cousins. They were just pretending to be, And they took me to a club. Okay. So, like, I was just having a good time. Anyway, so I thought it was that night that I conceived her. Like, but it wasn't. So, like, after I came back from that little vacation from Ethiopia, I moved to DC right away and I got a job. I got a place on Ninth Street. I got a room and for rent and I had this roommate. His name was Zalalem and he was really cute, chocolatey, perfect body. But somehow like I wasn't attracted to him and he was trying to throw himself at me, walking around naked. He had a big dick. Like he was just perfect if Ken was black and he had a big dick. But I wasn't into him. Like he was just, cause like for me, what attracts me to a guy is like his intellect and his wisdom and things like that. I don't know. Like I never go for looks. Okay, I might enjoy your looks, but you can't get me with your looks, and you can't keep me with your looks. So, I'm sorry, guys. I hope it's the wind because something is happening. But now that I know the truth, like, I'm not going to let it affect me like I used to. Okay. So, like, we're going to keep going, okay? Because this is really important. My life depends on it. my freedom, also my daughter's freedom, because my daughter was forced to do something, and it's not fair. It's not fair. Okay, so there are some people that are going to be paying for the crimes they made other children commit. And this is not just about my daughter, this is about all the little kids that I thought were my cousins. All these little Ethiopian kids, in my situation alone, not just the Ethiopian kids, there's some Latino kids, there's some kids they use to do some sinister shit. However, like, let's go back because this is really important, okay? So, this whole time, I was worried about my daughter not having a dad. And then I had a download about that person not being her dad, and that this other person was this other person that I forgot about, that I barely remember what he looked like, and I don't remember his name, and that I had a little one night stand with in Ethiopia a long time ago when I was 21. And once I realized that, like, I was happy that, like, a normal person is her dad. And now, and then, but then again, I still had to worry about proving it, you know? Not to the world, but I was worried about proving it to her. Her knowing where she comes from and things like that, her identity. Like, I didn't want her to go through life like me, not knowing who her dad is and things like that. So, like, I was determined to, like, force a DNA test and, make him pay her child support and stuff, okay? Because I thought she was innocent in all this. Well, she is, but then again, like, she could have chose to do the right thing after she reached a certain age. You know what I'm saying? So, like, okay, so as soon as I came back from Ethiopia, I moved to DC and I got a place on Ninth Street. And then I got a job at this place called Makeda Restaurant. Like the same day, okay, like 2 days after I moved to DC. Um, there was all these relatives, okay? None of them told me who I was or who they were to me. They all lied to me and they're all imposters, okay? Oh yeah, and then I also got a job at Collage Cafe. It's on 7th and T in Washington DC. And but like everywhere I went, I was like getting too much attention, which was like bringing problems with the girls that I was working with. So like I was always switching jobs. So anyway, so like I got a job at Makeda Restaurant as a bartender. And like I met this guy named Biniam, right? And we became really good friends. And I thought we were going to start dating. Like we were kind of dating. And he had connections. So like one time he told me like he has a surprise for me. And then cuz like we would hang out, we'd like go clubbing and stuff cuz I was only like 21 and I had just moved to DC. Like I had just had a trip to Ethiopia, so like I had a good experience with the people, with the culture and stuff. So I decided like I wanted to go to DC was where it was a lot of Ethiopians and I wanted to just mix up. I was like excited, to like be a part of that community or whatever. So like I was mingling a lot and stuff, you know? Anyway, me and him used to go like salsa dancing and all kinds of stuff, right? So like he told me he has a surprise for me. And this surprise was a night at the Wyndham Hotel all by myself, room service in the morning, and then we go on a tour bus, you know, and then we spent the day, you know, and then like we just do it, you know, and then we just party, you know, we just go out after that, like, and then like after like all that throughout the day is when, and then we went to club, and then like the next day, like in the middle of the night is when I went home. Okay, and I remember it was a Sunday night. No, it was, yeah, it was a Saturday night and a Sunday morning. A tour bus taking us, showing us like, you know, the capital and like memorials and things like that. And I just got a download. So he deliberately did that. He took me to the memorials because my grandpa's name is there. So my grandpa served in Korea or whatever. My grandpa served. Okay, so this guy's not my grandpa, okay? I thought he was my grandpa, but it turns out he was my dad who adopted me, okay? They told me his name was Bezabi Yimmer, but I think his name was Fisaha. He was a barber, okay? But listen, okay? So this guy Binam, okay? So he had a surprise for me. It was a night at the Wyndham Hotel. I remember like we had dinner. I had crab cake for dinner. And yeah, we went into the room. We chilled a little bit and he left me there. We had a couple drink. He left me there. And then I was watching a movie and I fell asleep, and he had already scheduled room service breakfast for me. So he told me just to sleep. He asked me like what time if I that I want to wake up, and I told him I like to sleep in. So like it was like until 10 or something. So like they were going to knock on my door with breakfast and wake me up. So that's what happened. That's all I remember, but what happened here is, and I don't even know if they keep surveillance videos from that long ago, because this was in 2004, you guys, in Washington, D.C., Wyndham Hotel. Okay. And most of the employees were Ethiopians. So, like, it was easy to, like, get free rooms and stuff. Like, you know, they hook each other up. So it turns out that night is when I conceived Mater. Again, that guy Binyam is not her dad. It was the guy that I had a one night stand with in Ethiopia, but I didn't even know he was in America because he told me he was on his way to Canada. He was about to leave to Canada in like 2 weeks or something. So, like, I didn't know, but without my consent and my knowledge, this dude came in and impregnated me. And it wasn't about him wanting to be with me, or like, it wasn't about sex. It was about creating a trap for me. They had to get me pregnant to trap me because, like, I was just like ready to get away from this family, moving to a different state. Just, I was just aiming high. I was aiming to fly, okay? But that's why he gave me that free room and everything, because they were planning on doing that and I was unconscious. So he drugged me because they were doing a ritual. Okay? And this Binam, he had the key. I thought nothing of it. I trusted him. So after whatever drug they gave me, they came back in. Okay? And they got me pregnant. Okay? So whatever this religion is, it requires them to sacrifice a child. Okay? So this is what my mother did. Okay? All my sisters knew about me, and I didn't know about anything, and because I was the sacrifice. Okay? And here I thought he did the same thing to my daughter. Okay? If that's the case with me, it means my daughter has other siblings that she knows about, and then maybe one sibling that doesn't know about her, which is crazy because this is a crazy, dangerous cycle to try to keep up. Like, it sucks if your bloodline is obligated to sacrifice. No, fuck that. I'm not going that way. Even if my daughter doesn't want to come, I'm leaving. So that was the night I conceived her. Okay? And then after that day, this Binam guy, he started showing me his true colors. So I decided to separate from him. And the guy who I thought was my baby daddy, we were just friends, him and his best friends. So, like, yeah, it was weird how it started with him. So they hired him to like come latch on to me and pretend to be my baby daddy and pretend to be the, because he also told me my stories little by little like the rest of them. So he's the one who told me about this religion where they have to sacrifice the firstborn. And he was laughing at me. I was wondering why he was laughing when he was telling me the story, but like, I mean, I wasn't even wondering it, but you know. So you guys, so they made it really hard for me. Like back then, I didn't have information, money and stuff, pregnant, you know? So like I didn't know I could get help. So I was scared to deliver a child with bitter mentality. So I convinced myself I have to forgive everybody in order for God to answer my prayers. And my prayers was, I don't care if it's a girl, I don't care if it's a boy, just give me a healthy child. And that was after me like trying to get an abortion, like, but the guy who I thought impregnated me begged me to keep this baby. So once I made that decision, then I started praying for a healthy baby. Um, so like he made me keep her, and then as soon as I had her, he switched up and he abandoned me pretty much. I had to do all these things, okay? It was crazy, but and then like I still try to do it on my own, okay? So on for some reason, so like these people, these family members, okay, they would tell me horrible things like we found her eating sand and this and that. And then all these Ethiopian people, they would pick fights with me over some petty shit, but say some crazy off the wall shit to me. Like this guy Biruk Zagaye, I thought he was one of my best friends, and we fought over $50. And then he told me he threatened, and she was only 1 year old. She even one. Anyway, they kept on saying stuff to me like that they were gonna do to her to trigger me. Their plan was for me to go crazy, do something, because they were like they just stole my inheritance, right? And I remember this nigga named Bruruk, he deposited like $60,000, which was the money he got paid to poison me, slander me, all that stuff, okay? Um, so they made me feel like I couldn't do it here. And then I was also sick. I had a thyroid problem. Anyway, I was under a lot of stress, and now that I think about it, it's because they were drugging me and all kinds of stuff, right? And I also had a heart attack, okay? At the age of 23, like, it got really bad. So I said to myself, I got to take care of my health. And every time I go to Ethiopia, like, so, like, like the people that were there, like, I thought she was my grandma and these were my family. So, like, there was an illusion where they loved me, where they loved my daughter. So, like, I thought it was safe for her over there. Anyway, I didn't make a decision to take her back to Ethiopia until I walked in on this woman, Abarash Bezabe Yemer, breastfeeding her. Okay? Now, this woman has dry ass boobs. There's no milk in there. She's barren. She can't have children. Or maybe. Wait, okay, so I guess you can conceive with dark magic. Or maybe she conceived. Wait, is she pregnant? Did she get pregnant? Or is this her old pregnancy? But she can't, okay? Anyway, San Jose PD, because, like, they just been brushing my situation under the rug. So, like, I don't even bother at, like, calling the justice system unless, like, I feel like I'm about to die. And I didn't even know she could get in trouble for that because, like, I actually kind of seen that growing up. I don't know. She just acted like she did it for my daughter, okay? But I wasn't approving it. So, like, I made a decision to have her raised in Ethiopia because everybody was, like, religious, holier than thou. And in that moment, I believed what I believed, the illusion, okay? So, like, the people that were, like, there, like, Yababiye, like, Ete, to all these people, I compared them to Jesus. I thought they were Jesus-like, but that was a mask. They're actually Buddha, yeah. Buddha said. Anyway. So I took her to Ethiopia for her second birthday. And they convinced me it was better for both of us for me to come and get my thyroid surgery and all this stuff. They convinced me, and I trusted them and I believed them, and I left her there. And now I'm sitting here, like, thinking about what did I do to her mind? Because she was barely 2. She just turned 2. And her mom, out of nowhere, gone. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what I did to her heart. I probably ripped it out. So it's my fault that she came after me in a way. Yeah, I left her there and I came here to work hard, get my surgery and stuff. But these people here were making it impossible for me. So I decided to move to a different state. Cause, like, they blacklisted me. I couldn't, like, keep a job. I couldn't do shit. I couldn't drive down the street without getting hit. It was just, like, crazy, right? So, like, I moved to Vegas, but I guess, like, they were prepared for me there too. They blacklisted me. So it was crazy. Like, I had to, like, do my own thing in Vegas. You know what I mean? Which was not selling my body, but selling something else. Okay. I don't want to say too much. Okay. But anyway, still, like, I was just trying to get my surgery and, like, bring my baby back, you know? But they kept on, like, telling me how she's, like, the best student. She's number 1 in her class and stuff. They just kept on telling me stories which made me relax and slack off a little because I was my situation. I was always homeless. I couldn't keep an apartment. I couldn't keep a job, and I didn't know why things were happening. So, like, I just thought she was better off without me, you know what I'm saying? But she wasn't. I don't know if they hurt her, did something to her. I asked her so many times, she told me no. But what I got from God is they used that to turn her against me. They made her feel like I abandoned her. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't believe my reasons for taking her there. And yeah, they made her, yeah, whatever it is that they told her about me, she believed it. And also, they introduced her to her real dad. Okay. So it turns out her real biological dad, even though I didn't know it was him, um, he was in her life the whole time. It turns out they love each other. And she's been loyal to him this whole time. It turns out she knew the truth. It turns out like she's known the truth since she was a child. And when she came, oh yeah, I got pregnant again. I came back from Vegas and I met this guy, which I had no idea he was sent to kill me. And I got pregnant by him. And then he freaked out. He's like, that was not the plan. That was not the plan. Back then I didn't understand, but now I do. The plan was for him to assassinate me, not for me to have his baby. You know what I'm saying? But he love bombed me so much, I thought he might be the one. And he, you know what I'm saying? He made me promises on bringing back my daughter, like helping me, you know? So I thought I had a real relationship, but it wasn't. So when I got pregnant by him, he was trying to run me over. He was trying to force me to take like a whole bottle of Xanax. Like he was just doing too much. And I didn't know he was working with my family because they acted like they hated each other. Um, so like as soon as I was pregnant with my son, they started trying to take my daughter away from me legally. So they were manipulating stuff, orchestrating all kinds of shit so that I would be forced to make bad choices. It was a bad choice for me to take to even come around this family or have my kids around them. They kept important information for me. You know what I'm saying? They literally impregnated me unconscious. So technically, my daughter is the product of rape. That's interesting. But they told me I was when I wasn't. Although my mother screamed rape when she couldn't have the nigga the way she wanted to. Yeah, she did that. Okay, so yeah, and I was like running for my life, pregnant. Um, yeah, I slept in abandoned homes. I walked into grocery stores, stole food to eat and stuff like that. I had no prenatal care for the first. I only got prenatal care the last 5 months of my pregnancy on my son. Um, so like we were doing custody stuff, okay? And then I had it downloaded and I decided to call the courts and they told me there was a case where they were trying to steal my daughter. And while I was trying to bring my daughter, like they wouldn't give her a passport, which they were lying to me. They had me running around for a passport even though she was already here. Okay? So like it was all like easy, okay? So like I came back to fight for her. One morning we go to church. It was a Sunday morning. Okay. And like we come back, there was mail, the court granting me custody. But I never thought about it until now. That letter was bullshit. there shouldn't have been mail on a Sunday. My family conjured up some letter, paid off some judge, and gave me a fake letter from the courts, made me believe the case was closed so they can keep fighting for custody and whatever assets I had, and bribe judges and lawyers. Okay, so I had no idea. My daughter was with me the whole time, from shelter to shelter, from hotel to hotel, always running, her asking me, Mom, what is our life? What is our life? Me feeling so bad. Just, and then literally apologizing to my kids for bringing them into this fucked up world and that God will rescue us and all this stuff, right? Like the whole time she was acting like she didn't know shit. I was trying to save her, and the whole time she was the spiritual assassin running with me for her life. Well, she was pretending like she was running with me for her life, but I was running from her for my life. I didn't know she was the one. So she had a relationship, okay? So, like, when she came, she had instructions, okay? Her job was to keep me on my period, okay? You guys, I've been on my period nonstop since 2012. Like, I would have these bleeding problems for months and stuff. And back then, they were just doing it to me when I'm around them. And when I'm not around them, they would use like whoever is around me. So, like, when I'm solo and stuff and isolation, I'll be fine, okay? But I didn't think of the patterns and I didn't pay attention, okay? I thought the bleeding problem was my problem. I didn't think people do that kind of shit, okay? But this whole time, my family was using this birth control called Plan B to keep me on my period, okay? And so my daughter was the one that was putting Plan B in my drinks. So I was going from shelter to shelter, from hotel to hotel. Always the nigga that I break up with hunting me, coming after me. Just wondering, asking God, am I cursed? Like, why can't I like have a normal breakup like other people and all this stuff? Like me always having to run to a different town just because it just didn't work out with a nigga, you know? But it was more than that. It was more than that because like these people, they would get paid to be around me and spy on me and poison me and make me sick and keep me sick and distracted and things like that. So that's what it was about. It's not that I had that voodoo pussy. Although I have that anointed pussy. Okay, but it doesn't matter, okay? My point is, this is what's been happening, okay? Clarity is here. When God's here, there's clarity, okay? So this whole time, cause like it was weird, you guys. Um, when we were in shelters and stuff, like she will do something wrong, and I would just like, cause I use my words, okay. She would make like these body movements, like like acting like I was about to hit her or something, when I didn't even raise my voice or raise my hand. Like she did little things to set me up, okay. But I never thought nothing of it, okay. Like we go to the doctor's office and she'll play dumb on a form. You guys know what she did to me last time? We were at the doctor's office and I just like, cause I want her to handle her own shit. So I told her to fill out her form. Do you know what she does in front of the doctor? She asks me, Mom, this says it's asking me if anybody in the house has drug problems. And I'm like, why are you asking me that? Because she should fucking know the answer, right? So like I just like my energy just changes over there, and then the doctor sees me. In her mind she's thinking I'm mad because my daughter exposed me. No, I'm mad because my daughter said some weird shit in the wrong place in front of the wrong person that's not true, that seemed way calculated, and I don't understand why. And these things kept happening. And I finally understand. I'm not crazy. Oh, yeah. You guys know another reason why San Jose PD wouldn't help me? Is he was making false reports on me. The wellness check and everything, she was doing it. But it was her dad making her do it and my family. You guys, she used to try to set me up. And then she would tell me people did things to her. One time, she told me somebody shaved her eyebrows, okay? Because, like, I let her have a sleepover at her friend Lamaya's house. And, like, she came back with a shaved eyebrows. The thing is, I let her have it because, like, these were, like, a really good, beautiful black family. A husband and wife, like, they're just poster family. They're like if the Cosbys were real and today, but not like, doctor and lawyer, but like the woman was a bus driver and like I don't remember what the husband was, but anyway, they were just like so welcoming and loving. They even invited me to like their Thanksgiving dinner. Okay. They were just a really beautiful, upstanding black family. Okay. And that's one of my favorite things to see because growing up, it's not what we saw. And even if we saw it, it was overlooked. So it's amazing to me, like, when I see a strong black family that truly loves each other and stuff. And yeah, so like, I trusted them and I used to let her have sleepovers. And basically, you guys, the helicopter's like, the light was like on my window. That's weird. Okay, so they're probably looking for somebody around here. So like I used to let her have sleepovers and stuff, And shelter that I lived in, like every shelter I went to, I became a target, which I didn't know why. Now I understand it was because of her that we had to like, keep leaving the shelter and go to another one because like they were always trying to medicate her and always complaining. You know what I'm saying? They were always like, I don't know, there was just something, okay. There was always something, okay, but she was only like 8, 9, So like, kids do stuff, they climb on things, it happens. But like when they when they kept nagging me and coming after me and all that shit, I'll just go, like, I'll just go, you know what I'm saying? I'll just move on. Like, I won't stand there and fight them. And so like, I was like trying to fight the system because I felt like they were. So like one time, like we lived at this shelter called Ashbury's House. They they stole my green card and stuff like that and gave it to my sisters. So they helped my family steal my inheritance. Um anyway, so I used to live there and like so when I went to pick her up, her eyebrows shaved and I didn't want to say anything to her around them and because like I like to talk to my daughter in private. So like I was asking her and then she tells me Lamaya's cousin shaved it. And I'm just like thinking about it like, okay, so these people, like, I trusted them, but there was a razor to my daughter's face. And that's a huge deal to me. So like I decided I can't let her sleep over places anymore. I can't just let her go. So like she used to go to Rosa Parks Elementary School. This teacher, Miss Moyenda, okay, she's still teaching there and she's a part of this trafficking ring, okay. She used to like harass my daughter and all kinds of stuff. Well, so I thought. But it was all about stressing me out and making me look crazy. So like she tells me they shaved her eyebrow. And so like I decided to confront them, you know? So like after I confront them, she tells me, "No, I shaved it myself." Okay, so she tell me people did stuff to her, and then as a mother, you know what I'm saying? I have to confront her, okay? So she tell me things like her goal was to get me in fights with people. Okay? So all these people, okay? Destiny, she attacked me cuz she got paid like by my own daughter. So you guys, the last apartment, 73 South 7th Street, San Jose, California 95112. There was a lot of torment there. Oh yeah, you guys, I have a question. I don't know what kind of drug it is that she was putting in my coffee, but okay, so it makes you feel like something is crawling on you, like bugs and stuff. So like the places where I thought bugs were crawling on me, I was looking at them and there is no bugs, okay? But I feel it, okay? So on the days that she was drugging me, okay? This is how I feel, okay? I feel like something's bugs are crawling on me and I really can't go to sleep. I end up pulling an all-nighter, still feeling tired, and yeah, and I rock back and forth. Okay? So I don't know what kind of drug does that to you. So how she's been drugging me is that like that's whatever drug she's putting in my drink or whatever, that's what it does to me, okay? She also attacked my face with pure bacteria from K-12. That K-12 school like was given to her to do her science experiments and stuff. But she chose not to do her schoolwork for a whole year and to dedicate herself on destroying me. So she was like paying people to gang stalk me, men to come attack me. She sent a rapist towards me. She like did so much towards me. And it was all because of her dad. She had to do it. It was her job. So in LA, she was telling the cops I was crazy and yeah, acting like she was a hostage and shit behind my back. So all these Ethiopian people that came after me, they were trying to save her because she manipulated them. But the whole time she was working with her dad. Oh, yeah. So, you guys, I met him this one day. Okay. It was in 2020. I believe it was September 17 or something around that time. This last time when I met him, I thought I met him for the first time, right? This last time when I met him, it was a setup, okay? So like her dad, her biological dad, okay? Um, it was Mescal, it was an Ethiopian holiday, and this girl Beatty came and kind of like forced me, got in my head about the kids, you know, playing and things like that. Like she convinced me and I went to her house, but they roofied me and stuff, okay? So the plan was to gang rape me, but it didn't work out because, like, she took me to this restaurant called Lunchbox. The Lunchbox, it's on San Carlos. And I saw him and I felt like I knew him from somewhere. And I kind of stared at him. And the whole time, the fucking guy, Aman, was trying to fuck me. So he's like pushing hella drinks on me. And then her dad, he was looking at me. So I like offered him the drinks, because I didn't want to drink. I'm not a drinker. You know what I'm saying? So I kept on giving him the drink. And then there was this Mexican girl while everybody was sitting and, the guy who's dating her and stuff not caring. She was just the only one standing. And then the guy, he like gets up for her and he lets her sit. And I'm like, oh, that's sweet. You know what I'm saying? I noticed he was different right there. That move over there made me feel like he was different. And then I gave him my chair and I sat on his lap. Okay. And then it was like, yeah. And then it was that. Okay. So, like, and then, yeah, I gave it up the first night and it was like, it felt like love at first sight, whatever. Okay. So weird. And then we went back to my friend's house because the kids were there. Her kids and my kids. And I was prompted to go get my daughter and introduce him right away. Usually, I'm not really eager to introduce my kids, but because my kids are always with me, like they usually know who I'm dating and stuff. But I'm never usually so eager. And why did I just choose my daughter? Oh yeah, because Bubba was sleeping. But I brought her. I told her I want her to meet someone, and I brought her. I met a guy, and I was like really excited, and she was like kind of uninterested. But I brought her, I pulled her, and I introduced her, and they smiled at each other, and then that was it. She went in the house, and then the rest of us were hanging out outside, drinking and smoking. The kids were inside the house, and then the next morning, Beatty started acting weird and stuff, and I decided to just separate myself from that group. And then I ended up calling him, and we had like this secret relationship thing, so I thought. But it was a secret. It was planned. There was board meetings and everything, and he was already my baby daddy. I just didn't even know it. Okay? And yeah, he was supposed to kill me basically, and then, him and his daughter are supposed to go happily ever after. I believe he's married to one of my sisters. They even made a movie about it. That's funny. Where my sister ends up. So, like, I was supposed to be dead, and my sister and my baby daddy married. My daughter joined them, and then happily ever after. Okay. Some Matilda shit. Okay. That was their plan. Okay. And another time, after we started dating, he took us to go get a haircut, for my son to go get a haircut. And after the haircut, when he was dropping us off at home, he turned around and he said, "Bye, Mahadi," to my daughter. And he gazed at her and he smiled at her, and there was a lot of love. And she responded with the same energy. But you guys, I thought that was a sign from God, right? That he was the one, he was my soulmate, he was my kingdom spouse, because he wore a specific color shirt that day. Like, he knew how God communicates with me, so he manipulated the whole energy. He's so evil, right? I thought that was a sign because usually my daughter's she either scares the guy, like guys are scared of her, or they just wonder what's wrong with her. You know what I'm saying? She's usually like one of the reasons why I walk away from guys, because I just see it's not gonna work out. Because, like, everybody has to harmonize. You know what I'm saying? So I thought this was the sign, like this was the first time where there was going to be harmony, right? With whoever I'm with and my daughter, because my son welcomes everybody, okay? But she doesn't, all right? And her energy is very intense, okay? If she's not happy, like you can't feel at ease. She's not going to speak, she's not going to throw tantrums. She gives you the silent treatment, but the energy is really heavy and suffocating and stressful. I don't know how to explain it. But the thing is, they looked at each other because they looked at each other like that because they really do love each other and they know each other, and the job was almost done and they were excited the job was almost over. So like one morning he was staying over and I was supposed to put my daughter's bed together and he promised he would help me. And then she knocks on the door with a coffee, acting like she was excited to put her bed together. And he ghosted me that day and came back like a week later. So like I couldn't keep my promise to her about putting her bed together. It was for my key. We actually left it there in the like without putting it together. Like after living there for 2.5 years, I was never able to put that bed together because like I was in pain under a lot of stress and all that stuff because she was dragging me and putting me through that. The whole time she knew that was her dad. And the cup of the coffee she gave me that morning was poison that actually killed me, made me encounter Jesus, where I saw him as water and I came back. Or you can choose to call it a near-death experience. That morning, father and daughter tried to murder me. And then a week later, he came to see me. So, like, after she gave me that coffee, I got extremely sick. I couldn't get out of bed, you guys. My face was swollen. It's in my ID, okay? My picture, like, I looked like a ghost. I was really sick. I almost died. And then he came a week later and he basically broke up with me and left me for dead. That's because his daughter did the job. She gave me the poison. It was supposed to look like a natural disaster. They've been working on me. So, like, they've been trying to destroy my organs and all kinds of stuff. This whole time, my daughter was communicating with this guy, her biological father. No idea it was him. So, this whole time, my daughter was pimping me, trafficking me, trying to frame me. Father, daughter. Also, created a business in my name, like a copycat business, a dummy business with my business. They fraudulent PPP loan. They did all kinds of shit. So, this is what I realized. The plot twist is no one was really coming into my house like I thought. It was my daughter. No one was trying to, like, it wasn't like, that's why, like, there was nobody on camera trying to break into my house. because it was my daughter, and it was the guy I was dating who I thought I just met, but it was really her biological dad, and they made a pact, and they, because like the thing is, when I was in San Francisco from going shelter to shelter, there was this guy, but for some reason he only did stuff for my daughter, her what she wants. So like if she couldn't get it for me, like her daddy was there. You know what I'm saying? I called it manna, but she knew where it was coming from. Anyway, you guys, they communicated online, text messages, everything. Okay. Like, I'm not going to go to the police right now because I'm in San Jose PD. I believe this guy who her dad is, who catfished me and tried to kill me, even though I was the mother of his child, he stuck me with. And I truly, from the bottom of my heart, took care of her and protected her to the best of my abilities, despite all the obstacles they threw at me, despite them like using her to hurt me and sabotage me and stress me out. I took my motherhood like seriously. So these people are willing to win. No, win at all costs. It doesn't matter. So my daughter was willing to win at all costs. When we were running in LA, they were targeting my son to kill him. She was behind it. And when I try to go out and sell jewelry, like all these men come at me, she's behind it. And her dad and these people that were pretending to be my family and also my biological family that I've never really knew who were. But all that is fine. You know what I can't fathom? My daughter being a part of this. My daughter knowing all the secrets and not telling me and keeping it for me. I thought I taught her good values. I thought I taught her that her lies were going to come back and bite her in the ass. And that they were going to keep her working and creating new lies to cover up that lie, that it was never going to end. I thought I like told her the truth, but she didn't listen to me. Her mind was made up. So you guys, I got to get out of here. I'm obviously in a lot of danger. I've been in a lot of danger. And I'm being ignored because nobody wants to see both sides of the truth. My side of the truth. Whoever this guy is, I don't even know his full name, but I have a baby with him. I was unconscious when he got me pregnant at the Wyndham Hotel. He wasn't even the guy who got the room for me. It was his employee. I almost said friend, but God corrected me. So Binyam worked for him. Hmm. So my daughter is like some rich girl. Her dad is really powerful and he has connections and stuff with judges and cops and stuff. My daughter is hella powerful. My God. I had no idea. So she was struggling with me because she had to take me out. She had to kill me, okay? So right now, okay, they gave her a deadline. Okay, her birthday is May 30th. And if she takes me out, if she can manage to kill me or put me in a mental hospital or in jail by that time, she gets like shopping spree, like trips. She gets a reward. So like I have to be really careful. This is going to be very intense. You guys, like I have to protect myself and like my son. Really, we need to get out of here, but I'm trapped. You know what I'm saying? There's not enough funds, and even if funds came, I can't just accept it from just anybody. Okay, because like they send people towards me acting like they'll be friends with me and stuff, and it's really to sabotage me, set me up, do stuff to me and lure me someplace. So like I can't just accept and go with anybody. I have to manifest this money and I have to leave in secret. I have to disappear. You know what I'm saying? But I can't really do that. You know what I'm saying? Like if I did that, like I can't do that right now because I don't have medical insurance yet. And I would have to get off welfare and Section 8 in order for these people not to find me, you know? So, like, I'm so fucked, you guys, because they've been working and burning bridges and working with higher officials. God knows what type of false charges I have. Like, I don't know anything. But I'm not gonna stop. The DNA test will prove it. Take a DNA test between my daughter and this fucker. Take a DNA, my DNA test, okay? My DNA is proof. My daughter's DNA is proof. And also the emails and the communications between these people. If they solved my case, they would bring down hundreds of people. Because that's how many people that are connected here in the Bay Area alone. And they use children to commit white collar crime. So the plot twist is the devil, his biggest trick was pretending like he wasn't there. I did not see the devil in my daughter. Like I did see it, but it wasn't like this. I just thought she was being bad because of her circumstances, and I understood where she was coming from when she did certain things to me, and I forgave her, and I told her what is wrong and what's right, and I moved forward. But she's learned nothing from me. She was all her daddy's the whole time. So the guy who I thought was her dad, Temesgen Egenu Teka, I call him Antenna, that's on her birth certificate, he was murdered. Well, that's what happens when you join a gang. There's always one way in, no way out. And I told that to my daughter. Now she wants to get out, but they told her she did some foolish stuff, some childish stuff, and I don't know what they expect from her because she was an adult and became a liability. And now they're telling her she has to do it before her birthday. They're forcing her. But she's not going to succeed. I already gave her up to God. I just asked God, do what you got to do. Save my son. And save me because my son needs me. And then he said, also the orphans. Those are your kids. And I said, okay. I don't know when I'm going to start that assignment, but it's an assignment that I'm surely going to keep. It's a promise. Now, I could love anybody. I had the ability to love these people that are devils, demonics. Like, think about it. So, like, my daughter, she's in the other room, she can go, she can leave me. She don't need me. She got money, she has her dad, she has all these people. I don't know. Okay. So she's here. One, because she loves her brother. She just wants me out the way because she needs the money. She wants that money. Okay. And whatever it is they told her to poison her mind against me. Two, I think, I don't know. She feels like she has to finish me off because she's in too deep. She did too much already. But it doesn't matter. My murder will still trigger an investigation. You're not getting away with it. But because the world needs me, God has some assignments for me, and none of you bitches can touch me. And none of you bitches are entitled to my life or nor my son's life. You're delusional for that. So I guess the last key was me figuring out my daughter was the snake that was supposed to swallow me. So Zendoology nuts. Daddy, that's a beautiful story. But I don't want to accept it. Wait, I do accept it. And I will tell it because I have to be obedient. I'm sorry for thinking about telling you I'm not going to give that message. Oh God, forgive me. But I am. So, you guys, I finally also understood something, okay? I told you guys before that I saw Anubis. I had an encounter with Anubis, the Egyptian guy. Okay. He's not my god, so like I guess he's somebody's god, so like I'll just call him in whatever you guys understand because he's not my god. My god is Yahweh, Jesus, Holy Spirit. Okay? So like the other gods, okay, I don't worship them. I don't sacrifice to them. I am royal priesthood, okay, God's daughter. Therefore, I don't need to sacrifice anything. My daddy owns everything. Okay? And if you do things the right way, you don't have to sacrifice nothing to nobody. Like Ogun is here to orchestrate a war for me against the people that try to deceive him and conjure him up to hurt me. What happened was Ogun is a Nigerian ancestor, deity, whatever. I never knew about him. But like, okay, so God told him the truth. My family conjured him up, okay, to hurt me. They conjured up some Nigerian ancestors to hurt me. They did some voodoo on January 10. I don't know, multiple different years. Okay, but it was like in West Africa somewhere, maybe Chad, maybe, I don't know. They went there. It was a huge event where all these government leaders and stuff go, and yeah, it's like a voodoo festival, okay? Unlike once a year, January 10th, it goes down, baby. With the voodoo, okay? So, and I'm not gonna talk shit about it because, like, it's weird, okay? So, these are things I never expected. So, like, the thing is, this is a crazy part, okay? You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't fuck with the ancestors. You don't try to fool the ancestors or none of that, okay? First of all, I don't play with that. I don't, but I just know I don't play with spirits, all right? I just don't. So you guys, one of the reason why I'm the sacrifice out of all my siblings is because I'm not full-blooded Ethiopian. I am half Nigerian. It turns out Wesley Snipes is my dad, and yeah, I didn't know, okay? Okay, so growing up, they're always talking shit about Nigerians. Out of everybody in Africa, they're always talking shit about Nigerians, how Nigerians cheat in school, they cheat everywhere. That's why, they're considered good students, this and that. Or like when they see like a person where they think like they're ugly, they pretty much Ethiopian people believe you're ugly if you have like too much African features. Although like there's a lot of Ethiopians with that too. Like if you go down south and stuff, that's probably like they're oppressed, you know? You know that whole Hutu Tutsi fucking mentality, okay? It's all over Africa too, okay? Um, so like, if they see somebody like with African features, big nose or whatever, they're like, "Oh, you look Nigerian, okay?" So whenever they felt like they wanted to insult me, they tell me I don't look Habesha, I don't look Ethiopian, I look Nigerian. I guess according to them, I'm supposed to be offended, but it didn't offend me. I actually think Nigerian women are very beautiful, luscious lips. Just God took his time, okay, on crafting that face, okay. Like to me, the Ethiopian face is really confusing with white features, and it's burnt. Okay, so like if you want to go there, okay. However, my point is they like always talk shit about Nigerians and stuff, and they say they're cannibals. Like they always say shit like that. So like, yeah, I was a sacrifice. And then when I got pregnant with my son, because he was a half African American, like they wanted to just, yeah, they decided he's a slave either. He's a slave too. So my daughter's job was supposed to, yeah, they decided to take me out right now because like everything they're doing is not working, but my daughter's job was to get my son killed, make me go crazy, have me in some mental ward, and then them just control my finances, control my life, and keep me from my divine path with God, my promise that I made to God, because they decided to serve the devil. So like they don't want me speaking the things that I speak. Um because I'm not going to go to the dark side. So they want me to shut the fuck up. That was the plan. So like all these people, the Ethiopian people that came after me in LA, I don't blame them because they felt the need to save my daughter for me, my children for me, because she was lying. She was setting me up. But it's not her fault. So, like, it's really important, you know what I'm saying? That this motherfucker pays for what he did. Anyway, he will pay. That's what God is telling me. Okay, so he reminded me of Anubis again. We're gonna go back to Anubis. So one time I was in my room, like for a few days, Anubis was harassing me, but I didn't know it was Anubis. It was just, I just thought it was paranormal activities in my house. There was something caressing me, touching me, um, like breathing on me, which felt like a sexual harassment from a spirit. And then I got a download about them sending Anubis on me. And then a couple of days later, but this feeling of being harassed was like nonstop for like hella days. And I was like, I couldn't sleep. Like, he wouldn't let me sleep or anything. Okay. So after that download, a couple of days later, I saw Anubis, which it was in my room, but like his feet was invisible. It was, how like there's that cloud like on the floor, like on stage or whatever, how it covers their feet. Even though there was no cloud, like his feet was invisible, like below his knee. I only saw him above his knee. And this is really crazy. Okay, it's not so crazy now that I understand it, but it was crazy. Okay? So, like, I saw him and he was looking at me, and this didn't reveal to me right away. There was shame in his eyes. Like, he did something to me that he wasn't supposed to. Because, like, this whole time I didn't know who Anubis represented, but Anubis himself, like with the dog face and everything, muscle body and everything, was there. Blue, turquoise and everything, with his jewels and everything. He was in my room. And he saluted me and he went down, okay? He went down the elevator and disappeared. But I was in my room, okay? That elevator was a spiritual elevator, okay? So we know at the end of that vision, Anubis went down, okay? Now, there was another time. Okay, I'll do that part. This is going to sound so weird. Anna Nicole Smith shit. Okay, so one time I was trying to go to bed, but yeah, like I got really horny. It was weird. And I felt like, someone was touching me, and that touch was familiar. And I wasn't touching myself, but like I remember like the feeling, like the dick going inside of me, like someone came and raped me. Like it was like me having sex with an invisible man. Do you understand? And I couldn't contain myself. So like I just let go. I relaxed and I didn't touch myself. I just enjoyed it. Even though there was nobody like that you can see that was fucking me. Well, I don't want to say fucking me because that was actually making love to me. Whoever astral projected and raped me like that loved me because that was loving me. It was weird. And this whole time I'm thinking it was a demon they sent on me. Of course, it was Anubis. I just didn't know it was Anubis. Because the thing is, when I had encounter with Anubis, there was sexual energy there. And I caught myself saying he's hot. And I felt disgusted with myself because his dog face and him being a different species and like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I'm like one of them women from Noah's days having sex with the fallen angels. You know what I'm saying? So I repented to God many times, but he never said anything to me about it. It's because I didn't understand it and I did not need to repent. Because another thing about that sexual energy that was there, it wasn't just some sexual energy, it was a familiar sexual energy. And Anubis went down the elevator, which means he was on his way to hell. And that's after all that he did to me. Rape me in the spirit, rape me in the physical. And I still didn't hate him. Like, I still wanted him. That's sad. I still loved him despite what he did to me. Okay, so like there was also another dream. It was a kingdom marriage word that I did, but I barely remember the dream, but God emphasized on a specific part. So like in the dream, it was me and my kids. We were like getting boba tea and like walking down the street, which was like our regular thing back then. And like and then we end up in this building where I like there was just glass, and then I see my ex, which is the guy who's actually my daughter's biological dad that I didn't know about. Him, and then this guy Asmerom, we call him AK. He was my friend since we were like 12. Anyway, that's like his other lover. I didn't know that my daughter's dad is bisexual or gay. But that's his other lover. And I know that because, like, I had a dream. God revealed it to me, okay? So he was cheating on me with my friend Asmeron. Not just with other women, okay? When I was with him, and then this other girl, she was masculine. I don't really recognize her. They were in a room, which was like a cell, a prison cell, but it was a glass prison cell. It was all three of them, like they were in there, and then I don't know, like me and my kids, whatever it is, like I had to sign some papers or whatever in order for them to get released, I guess. Like my kids were with me. We were in a different room, but there was glass. I could see them, but my ex and my friend Asmarom and the other masculine girl that was in my dream, they couldn't see me. But as soon as I signed that paper, like they got released from the room, right? So in my dream, Asmerom looked really excited and stuff, and then he goes, and then the other masculine girl, I don't know who she is, but she looks mad and disappointed and just not giving a fuck or whatever. She just keeps going. And then I see my ex. I see my ex with a white guy who's holding crutch. He was holding a crutch. When I did that kingdom marriage word, I looked at that white guy as Jesus, as the wounded warrior. Because, okay, I don't know, he could have been his lawyer or whatever, right? He was wearing a brown leather jacket and he was holding a crutch. Do you know who has a crutch? 11:11 on the clock. There's a plant. Let me look for it. Okay, so there's a plant. I think they call it the devil's crutch or the devil's cane. Is there a devil's stick or a devil's crutch or a devil's cane? Okay, guys, there's a plant. It's like a stick. Okay. A plant called devil's a plant called devil's stick or devil's crutch. Okay, it's the devil's walking stick. Okay. Okay, I think that's what it's called, the devil's walking stick. Okay, you can Google it if you want to see what it looks like. So I want you to remember Anubis went down, okay? Went down the elevator. He went back to hell after he was sent to come kill me and violate me sexually, spiritually, and physically. Um After he did all that, he was ashamed and he saluted me and he went back down to hell in that vision. But in this dream that I was just talking about, my ex, he was with the white guy whom I thought was a wounded warrior. Maybe in that kingdom marriage word that's for someone else, it is a wounded warrior, you know? But significance here, my ex walked down the stairs to the basement with the guy, with the white guy who was holding a crutch, a stick, a cane, whatever you want to call it. And now that I think about it, the name of it is Devil's Walking Stick. Okay, it's a plant. So do you know who he went down to the basement with? The white guy represents the devil. The basement represents hell. Okay, this is really sad. Oh my God, my daughter is going to be grieving because I didn't know she knew her dad and I didn't know how much she loved him. She loved him so much that she was willing to kill her mother for him. And she did everything he said, no matter how dangerous, how sinister. That is so sad. So, you know what God is telling me right now? My ex, the guy who inseminated me unconscious to harvest my energy, the guy who used my own daughter to kill me and destroy me and keep me in prison, especially, okay, so my daughter, okay, you guys. So, like I said, every time I'm around this family, like in this town, around this community, my decisions are affected because they create all these scenarios and circumstances for me, right? So, when my daughter was born, I didn't know what to name her. And I didn't have a Bible near me and I didn't even think about it, okay? But all I knew is like I wanted a Bible name, but I couldn't think of one. And then the woman who I thought was my grandma, I asked her what I should name my daughter, and she named her Mahadir. And I asked her why Mahadir, and she said Mahadir is a file that holds important things together. And basically, because I was all wild and whatever, well, that's what they said about me. but that's really not who I was. I was just a typical American teenager or whatever, or you know what I'm saying? And a typical American woman in her 20s, okay, chasing a big dream. But they said I was too much, okay? And that she would pull me together and make me behave. And she did, okay? So, like, her name, it fit, okay? So, like, I loved her name and I took her name and I gave her that name. But you guys, I had no idea her name was a spell. So, Mahader is a file that keeps important documents contained. So, they used Mahader to contain me, to imprison me. They inseminated me unconsciously, got me pregnant, hid important information from me about who I was, who my parents are. Okay. They chose to take away my free will, inseminate me with an enemy from a past life. That came for me nonstop. They imprisoned me. She was the file that contained the important things about me. They used her to limit me. All my important gifts were hidden because of this girl. Because I conceived and decided to keep this daughter of mine and try to fight for her and try to fight for other people so she can have family. She can have somebody just in case I don't make it. I came back to forgive and I got punished. So let me tell you guys, my daughter kept me in fear and anxiety and anger. I had to like find the balance every day. So that's why her name is Mahader. Okay. It turns out, plot twist, my grandma gave me that name, which she wasn't even my grandma. She just pretended to be. Gave me that name because my daughter was my prison. And I wasn't going to get out of this spiritual prison until I realized the truth. So the key was not just me knowing who her father is. The main key was me finding the treasure. So you know what I think they did with that custody battle thing or whatever? I'm going to have to go to the courts because what's been happening here the whole time, I was like gathering evidence and I was telling you guys, I found this, I found that, I have proof. My daughter was over here stealing the important proof, like the insurance policy paper and everything. She was stealing it and giving it to them, sabotaging me so I never have evidence to back up my claims, okay? So, like, I need to go get a new paper and we're going to look at the details of that custody case. because that letter I received and me might be of me, getting custody of my daughter being granted might have been fake. And the thing is, so like that's where they're hiding my asset. I figured it out in my daughter's name. And she needs me out of the way to be dead because she's also ashamed of what she's done because she knows I've been nothing but loyal to her. I've been nothing but her slave, her bitch, her mom. You know what I'm saying? Her scapegoat, her supply. Okay. So like she's fucked, all right? She's fucked. I think she's about to lose her dad and that's her karma. I'm just glad she's not dying for all the death rituals she did on me. Okay, so Anubis represents her dad. The fact that he went down the elevator, he's going back to hell. And the fact that he went down the basement with the devil, the white guy with the crutches, the devil's walking, whatever, the devil's walking crutch or whatever. I just told you guys, Google it. It's a plant, okay? So the white guy, that's what he was holding. He wasn't a wounded warrior. He was the devil with his walking crutch. Okay? With his walking stick. Okay? It was a stick. It was a wooden stick. Okay? So it wasn't even like a man-made cane where it's all smooth and shaped. It was a wood stick. Okay? Just a regular stick. So the devil's walking stick. Okay? And he went down the basement with him. So he's about to pass away. He's about to pass away. And he's going to hell. Because he failed at his assignment. Not his assignment that he got from, his family, my family. That assignment he got because he chose the devil. He wouldn't. So, yeah. Yeah, he's gonna die. I don't even know his name, guys. And I have a daughter with him, and she's about to be 19. And she has a deadline to kill me. So, like, if she can keep up the illusion, kill me, and like bury me and never make me, if no one looks into it, she wins. But fortunately, there's already cops looking into it. Um, so I'm praying for her to have immunity, but at the same time, like, she's gonna need mental health help. I just realized she's gonna go crazy. Because this guy she loves so much, her hero, her dad, like, she's been so loyal. Like, she must love him so much. She's willing to sacrifice Bubba because I know she loves Bubba. Like, I see her. And I know she loves me. Or unless she's really good at lying and pretending like she loves. Because, like, I really kind of think she loves us all, but she was forced to do it, you know? No, God said she's greedy. She wants the money. That's why she wanted to take me out. Okay. Okay, yeah, she's greedy. Okay. Okay, whatever. Oh my God, this is really hard. So what am I supposed to do? Go to the funeral with her? I don't go to funerals. He's dying because of backfire. He's dying because of what he did. Okay, I really don't know how this is gonna come out, but you guys, this is where we're at right now. Okay, the plot twist is all this craziness you were seeing, everything, my daughter and her dad and my family were behind it. It was an inside job because my daughter was here. And at this point, I can't sacrifice myself for her because My son needs me, and there's other orphans that need me. I have a covenant with God, and I've been honest, and I've provided everything that I could provide for my daughter. She had already made up her mind. There was nothing I can do. She committed the crime, so now she might have to do the time. PPP loan, false reports, perjury, wasting resources, all kinds of shit. Money laundering, all the people that they paid gang stalking me, trying to also hunting me, trying to murder me. All that was paid under the table. Therefore, that's money laundering on top of the black market currency exchange. And the money laundering that you guys do with churches and stuff. So, speaking of making up minds, God wants me to address something. And this is not about me and my daughter, which kind of is. So, she's a karmic. She was born to be karmic. She made up her mind. She's never going to apologize. She's never going to come clean. That's why I had that vision of her throwing tantrums in a courtroom and also in a straitjacket. And I thought she was just going to go act like that because of her getting caught, but it's not. Also, she's about to lose her dad. He's about to die. That's crazy. It's going to break her heart. It wouldn't have mattered to her if I died, but him dying is going to put her in a mental hospital. But I'm not going to no funeral. If you had a question right now, what if it was your children? It would no, you see, I wasn't planning on seeing my children die before me. I was supposed to grow old and I was supposed to die before my children, and my children are supposed to grow old and they're supposed to die before their children. My family has a covenant with God not to suffer. It's a curse to watch your children die. So, like, that's one promise I had from God. So, like, I was never planning on going to a funeral. And I was never going to make anybody come to my funeral when I pass away. I don't want any fuss. It's weird. It's a weird ritual. Let the dead bury the dead. So I'm not going to the funeral. I can't support my daughter because she was never my daughter to begin with. But I just don't go to funerals. I just don't go to graveyards. Like, I just don't do that anymore. Like, I've been in graveyards. Like, in Ethiopia, it was so scary to smoke weed because, like, the federal cops and stuff are scary. So, like, my two friends from the neighborhood convinced me to go smoke weed with them somewhere secluded, and they took me to a graveyard, which I thought we were just hiding and smoking weed, but it turns out they were doing death ritual on me. Stuff with graveyard dirt. Weird shit. None of you bitches succeeded. Okay. Even below the belt. Okay, my own child. That was below the belt. So she was a part of trafficking herself? Or did he just traffic me and my son? Because there was a camera in our house. So I'm prophesying her dad is about to die and she's about to go crazy. There's a plot twist to everything. My daughter was the shot caller on what was being done to me since 2019. Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of making up minds, these people were already made up their minds. They were going to take it to their graves. They were never going to apologize. None of that shit. Okay, but there's a plot twist. So, like the same, okay, with the devil and God, okay? So we know God is also the devil, okay? Okay, so there are things that, okay, so John told you, Jesus, the one that's going to baptize you with Holy Ghost and fire. Who do you think the fire is? The devil. And what did John say Jesus was holding? A pitchfork. Pay attention to details. Don't ignore stuff, okay? I was ignoring stuff with my daughter, and that's why she was able to destroy my face. She was able to destroy a lot. Because she almost put me in the ground. If it wasn't for God, it was going to be too late for me. Okay? So, like, you have to pay attention to details, and those details matter. If you need help, get help, okay? Because I should have gotten help for her. It wouldn't have mattered because she had already made up her mind, so she was never gonna be revealed, and there was all these people working against me with money and power and shit. So like there was no way. So like I had to wait for God, and I received the truth. She wasn't gonna stop. She had already made up her mind, so God had to make a decision to save me. He had to intervene. Okay, so why won't God forgive the devil? God would forgive the devil. God would forgive everybody. Okay? But again, the devil is God too, okay? That's God's other side, okay? The devil is a mindset, okay? So when God casted down the devil, he casted down a mindset. That's what he did, okay? Now that mindset is a mindset, okay? It's set, okay? The devil is set. He's not going to apologize. That's why God is not going to forgive him, because the devil is a mindset. His mind is set on not apologizing, not asking for forgiveness. Okay? And also, if you pay attention, the devil was God's servant. He worshiped and prayed to God, and he was beautiful and fiery. The fire from God is the devil. Okay? And God is good. He's always good, okay? But then again, there are moments where you trigger the devil, okay? So until you came along, the devil was singing in heaven, praising God. He wasn't trying to overthrow him, okay? But then you came along, okay? Jesus came along, okay? The one who became flesh, okay? We trigger him, okay? So, like, the devil was always there, but he was good until we came along, okay? And he was gonna do some fucked up shit to us, and God had casted him down. He casted down a mindset, okay? So God would forgive the devils and the demons and stuff. He would. But it's a mindset. The mind is made up. Do you get it? But God is always good no matter what. He would forgive you and he would forgive the devils. Okay? If he would forgive you, why would he not forgive the devils? Okay? Good or bad, when it really comes down to it, they are obedient to God. You're not. A mindset is obedient to God instead of you with the free will, who can't make up your mind, who's lukewarm. So you understand there's two sides to the truth. So Jesus, okay, the line of Judah, that's his beast side, his devil side. So when he comes back, as a lion, that's because you triggered it. That's because you put him in that mindset. And you're looking forward to that prophecy where you put Jesus in the mindset of a devil and creating genocides and shit. Trying to bring a prophecy forth. That's not your job. Everything is supposed to be God ordained. So you have to trust God, even when it comes to the devil. Dang, I feel bad for my daughter. She worked so hard to live happily ever after with her dad and all this money, but what's going to happen is he's going to hell and she's going to a mental ward. Where she tried to put me. So she's Haman? She's the one that's going to hang on a robe that she set for me? And her dad is Anubis. So Anubis represents her dad. And that spiritual rape was actually a download. So in that hotel room in 2004, Wyndham Hotel, I don't remember the date, in Washington, D.C., he came in without me seeing him. He inseminated me. He got me pregnant, did a sex ritual on me, put a specific spirit inside of my womb that's been pretending to be my child, that's been trying to devour me. That's basically it. I don't know if I call this justice, though, you guys, because I lost my daughter. Well, I don't know. So now that I know all the memories I had with her were fake, they got deleted. All the good memories. Like, God deleted them? Isn't that weird? Because last week they were here, right? Like the memory where I thought she was my daughter and stuff. It's gone. So, like, I don't know how I'm gonna comfort her and all that stuff. Because now I just see a demon I need to get away from, and I don't know how. And there's no way out. Yeah. In this moment, I'm not being David that's bringing down the giant. In this moment, I'm in a den. I'm in a lion's den with my son. But I'm not scared. I know the lions can't eat me. And I'm waiting for God. Oh, God said I'm waiting for the king to rescue me. No way! That's so weird. How am I supposed to react to him? Okay, I'll hear him out. So there is a prophecy where my dad, my biological dad, is going to come save me. So I guess my biological dad is one of the people who put me in this lion's den. So, but he's going to be amazed at how I survived everything that was done to me. And he's going to believe in God. Dang, I'm making a believer out of Wesley Snipes, the blood. Anyway, you guys are going to have to get Brielle's story straight. And you're going to have to set the record straight. Okay? Because Brielle's life is not what you make it out to be. Brielle did not have a mother who comforted her. Okay? So, we're going to rewrite everything. Brielle is more complex than you put her out to be. Okay, you're not just gonna copy my fucking purple hair and create your own narrative about me. You're not gonna do that. I'm taking over the narrative, okay? I'm controlling the narrative of my life. Yeah. God said you set the record straight. I'm done. Because this whole thing that I was supposed to talk about, like the situation of my invisible baby daddy, and like, you know, my littlest daughter. So, you guys. Yeah, basically, she was supposed to torture me so bad. I was either supposed to turn dark or crazy. Like, I was supposed to do something, okay? But it didn't work. Oh, yeah, so you guys, okay. So, remember how, like, they put me in a mental hospital and took my children? They did that because my daughter was over there telling the doctors and stuff I had all these health issues and mental issues that I don't have. She even told them I had seizures, so they forced me to take all these medications that I'm not supposed to do. I almost died. They gave me a deadly shot. I did a video from the motel throwing up the poison. Um all kinds of stuff, okay? She was the one like going to the Motel 6 front desk people telling them lies, playing victim so they wouldn't help me. They were like making it hard for us, okay? Everything that was happening, she was orchestrating everything. But there's proof, okay? There's proof, okay? I just didn't know where it was coming from, but she should have known better. Once I knew where it was coming from, it was over. Game over. And now it's game over for real. She may be acting like everything is all good, but trust me. The entity she called on me is on her. She has to pay the piper. And so, like, speaking of entity, okay? So, like, I told you how they were, like, always talking shit about Nigerians and stuff. They're so disrespectful. And then they also chose me as a sacrifice because I was a Nigerian and they looked down on me. And then they had the audacity to go do voodoo and conjure up a Nigerian ancestor. What the fuck you think that ancestor gonna do? He's going to defend me, his descendant, you stupid bitch. So when you conjured up Ogun, I had no idea about Ogun. Okay, you were gonna get me killed, but no. God told him the real story. And now Ogun, the god of war, according to you, to me, the god of everything is Yahweh. But just so you can understand it, Ogun is a Nigerian ancestor. He's a god of war. And he's about to come fight the war for me with his army. Because God told him the truth. You guys try to trick a spirit. You guys know how pissed he is? This is no different than some white woman trying to fucking conjure up African ancestors on a black woman. God tried to use this social media shit to teach you some lessons so you won't fuck around and find out. But you fucked around and you're about to find out. So Ogun is my ancestor. God has commanded him to fight my war. It's over. You understand? Anubis is my ex. He was a reincarnated Anubis, but he didn't choose God. So now he has to die. He has to go to hell and become my bodyguard. So now he's going to be hunting the people he worked with. Oh my God, he's hunting my daughter? So all the instructions and everything he gave her, he's accusing her of doing it wrong, the spell work and stuff. So she's like hearing his voices right now. But even after he passes away, she's going to be hearing his voices. But they told the mental hospital, they kept asking me if I hear voices, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? Do you hear voices? Like I was getting irritated at that question. Because they try to lock me up in a mental ward, lying, saying that I hear voices and all this stuff. They're going to be hearing voices. I'm seeing one person, but I'm saying they. So there might be a lot of spirits in my daughter. And she can hear them. Because you guys, I know my daughter is spiritually gifted, right? I always knew God talks to her in paintings and stuff, so I was looking forward to her getting on her path. But she chose the devil. That's why she stopped painting, because she did not want me to see her downloads. And she never has dreams, according, when I ask her, but she does have dreams. And not only she has dreams, she's clairvoyant. Like, she gets direct instructions from an entity, a female entity, the angel of death, something about Santeria. Okay, so God is saying that my daughter decided to sacrifice me in 2019 for fame and fortune. Me and my son. She decided to sacrifice us for fame and fortune. And she decided to do the job herself. So she involved a lot of people and made a huge mess. This is really scary. Okay, so my daughter, she is gonna get the fame, but the fortune has to wait for her for next lifetime. This lifetime, she won't get the fortune. She will get the fame for doing what she did to me. Mugshots. But she won't get the fortune until she's in alignment with God, goes through the fire, and does the work. She cannot kill me so she can have stability. She cannot kill anybody. Jesus is the perfect lamb. He's the sacrifice so that nobody would have to die. He died so that nobody would have to die. The money was already hers because she was my daughter. She didn't have to steal it. She stole from herself. She forfeited her destiny. So she's going to have to sit down, even if God has to put her in a straitjacket. And her dad has to die because she has to pay the piper. Because she can't sacrifice me and Baba, me and her brother, because God said no. Yeah. I'm really sad. Because this is not what I was expecting. This was not the promise. But I guess I had to believe. I had to stay in the dark about certain things. And I know I'm supposed to get married, so I guess I haven't met my kingdom spouse yet. Because, like, my daughter's dad was supposed to be, but he chose the devil, so he has to go. He has to go down to the basement with the devil and his walking stick. The devil he took on has duties. So my daughter's Maleficent. You guys, there's this dragon that's been sleeping on a pile of treasure, right? And so, like, I figured out it was my daughter the whole time. So my inheritance is hidden in her name. So, like, yeah, conservatorship or something. Yeah, they used this doctor named David who committed a medical fraud. He was working for Foothill Community Clinics, okay? And he took money from Santa Clara Family Health Plan. He also took money from my family to misdiagnose me so my family can take over my money. You know what I'm saying? And my daughter was a part of this whole time. So my daughter was trying to make me look crazy so I can be deemed incompetent or go to prison or die. And she could take everything, take control. And then she was going to harvest my son's energy. She was going to traffic him. She already had like Mexican drug cartels and everything coming after him, cops. Like, she already did all that. I just didn't know it was her. So she's just going to take over. She's just going to live. She's going to be famous and fabulous, okay? Because she kept saying she's getting her nose done, her boobs done. Okay? So she, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't even like her face, okay? But I guess that was her plan. But again, investigation needs to open up, I say, because, like, you know, I can't even go make a police report. Okay, so my daughter, like, she goes in my fucking phone, changes the address of Amazon, and I'm over here like, you stole my package, and then days later I check it, and then my address is different, but I know for sure what I put, and I even double checked, you know what I'm saying? Many times, alright? Because I had just moved in here. So my daughter was doing stuff because she was able to get into my email and stuff because I trusted her. My passwords and stuff were not hidden from my children, okay? Oh yeah, and when we were trying to move out of that house last year, from that house, I didn't have money to get out of here because like she was making me sick and all kinds of shit, demanding things, clothes and all kinds of stuff. But she was trying to set me up for me not to have money to get a hotel. And then when I was trying to get a shelter, she was calling the shelters, telling them lies where this shelter called La Casa told me I broke confidentiality. For sure I didn't, but it was my daughter doing that. So like nobody would let us in, okay? So like I don't know what to do with all this information. I'm overwhelmed, but this is where we're at right now. We're at a plot twist. It's over, guys. Not for me, and it's just beginning, but it's over, okay? The search is over. Okay? It's over. Everybody's been caught, and now stay tuned. Some shit is about to be happening. You guys, I'm so tired. I'm so sleepy, but I had to do this word. First of all, it took me a long time for me to get in the first place. And then like it was just a hard word to give, okay? The download alone like had me exhausted for holidays. But I can't be quiet any longer. I can't suffer in silence, okay? I wasn't sure in the past and I thought it was all in my head, but I can't. I have to tell the truth. My life depends on it. My son's life depends on it. My daughter's dangerous because she's forced to be too. But like there's nowhere I can go. I can't go to the cops. I can't go anywhere for help. CPS gave me that case. I did everything I was supposed to do. I showed up on time to everything. They did an investigation and they thought I was, you know, a good mom. Okay, they thought that there shouldn't be an open case, that I can handle my life, whatever. So they closed it. And I have also been seeing a psychiatrist, and because this psychiatrist is not getting paid by my family, he's doing his job with ethics, okay? And he's not medicating me. He sees nothing wrong with me. Although the case is closed, um, I'm going to keep seeing this psychiatrist. Although he says I don't need to see him, you know what I'm saying? I'm fine. Um, I will keep seeing him, just in case if there's any signs of like mental illness in me, okay? But this is the reality, okay? So the false narrative you created did not stick, okay? So I told CPS everything. Whatever they thought was crazy, they brushed it under the rug, okay? They helped us. They were very helpful. It was cool, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, they didn't help us. Okay, they're mandatory reporters, and I told them I was trafficked, I was going through all this, and they didn't. But then again, I don't blame them because there's my daughter telling lies behind my back, creating a false narrative because she has a social worker that she works with, right? And she's always looking at me weird and giving off like weird vibes, okay? But like I'm not mad at her for it. Like I just assumed like it was the narrative, whatever report she received from, But it's because my daughter be playing victim to milk the system, okay? So like my daughter's getting braces and all kinds of stuff right now, okay? So like as a parent, I will tell you, if you're having a hard time, it's okay to reach out to CPS and ask for help, okay? There's help, okay? But it's very limited, and yeah, maybe my situation can come to light. Oh, okay. So my situation is going to come to light, okay? It's no longer hope. It's a fact, okay? A prophecy. My situation, once my situation comes to light, all these laws are going to change. Motherfuckers are not going to be allowed to make calls and anonymous calls and make false reports, okay? CPS and all these places, these trafficking ring safe havens and all these places, all these shelters, they're ignorant. They don't even see they can't even fathom the problems that people deal with. So the law has to be more accepting, more open-minded. Um Basically because of me, laws are going to change, okay? Immigration is going to change, okay? Immigration laws, all kinds of laws, okay? I'm a game changer, God said. Whoa, daddy. God said I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. Everybody was against me, including my own child. Again, I didn't choose to bring her into this world, okay? Do you understand? I kept her out of pity for the guy who I thought was her dad. She was never my love child. At least my son, he's my love child. I actually loved his dad. He was just a blob and incompetent demon shit, gay for pay. But I did love him, and I did see a future with him. I did see, because like he fooled me with the illusion. You get it? Because he just appeared as a good hearted nigga who just, you know, was dealt the wrong cards. So like I saw potential. But that wasn't the case. He's a dumb bitch. So like at least, when I conceived Bubba, like, you know what I'm saying? I was really making love, okay? It's like there's a difference right there. Like it's over. It's done. So like me and my daughter are under the same roof because I am forced to be and I am trapped here. And the minute I can run out of here and snitch on her, I will do it without a heartbeat. With like before my heart beats. Like I don't give a fuck. I just want out. I didn't sign up for this. It was against my will, my knowledge, my consent, everything. Everything. So, and these people have what's mine and they feel entitled to my life and they won't leave me alone, including my daughter. So, God is intervening. Okay. So, my ex is going to die and then his daughter is going to go crazy. Because they worked so hard, they did so much, killed a lot of people together, and didn't get what they hoped. Work without reward. It's over. Okay, so this the plot twist. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. Okay, because I can talk forever. Cause dang, you know what I'm saying? Can you imagine what it's like to be me? Oh, okay. All right, guys. I love you, but God loves you infinity. Okay, ciao.